It's been a long time since I've spoken to you directly, and the reason for that is the intensity of everything that's going on, and probably my own fear that to speak to you authentically from my heart about what is going on, about the largeness of what I perceive through my empathic heart, puts me in a position. It's possible that not everyone will agree with my perspective. And in a world where things are so unstable, it's a natural reaction for us, especially those working as healers in the world. One of the more underpaid, unstable ways to earn a living these days, that I play it small and play it safe. And something happened today that made me not be able to do that anymore. And so I'd like to share a really authentic moment with you. What happened is that I registered for this wonderful program called Love in Action. It was with Marianne Williamson as the host. And the lineup of speakers was the greatest luminaries, many of the great luminaries in the world. It was Deepak Chopra and Michael Beckwith and Jan-Le Van Zandt and Neil Donald Walsh and so many, many, many more. And every single one of them spoke elegantly in the present moment and addressed what is truly going on right now in the world in a way that I have been afraid to do. And the reason they did this, the reason that they put themselves on the line in this way, was to be the demonstration of a call to action for the healers of the world, so that then we stand up and take a stand for what is really going on, rather than playing the role that maybe is what you want from us. And in my personal situation, I believe that what most of you probably want from me is beautiful sound healing that makes you feel wonderful and for a moment in time takes you out of the density and the heaviness of the world and puts you into a state of alignment. And that is the intention with my sound healings, is to do that. And I will continue to do that. Less online right now as I focus more on recording and creating things that have more stability in them. But the thing that really rocked me, beyond all of the amazing information and inspiration that I gained from this program, was that globally, and there were people from 35 some countries logged into this program, there were only 520 people on this call. 520 people. There should have been millions. Where is everyone when the most valuable information being eschewed is the truth of our seers and our visionaries who speak the bigger truths? And that is what lit the fire under my butt to get back here online with you and not play small and not hide and speak the truths that are looking to be spoken right now. So, you know, amazingly, the one thing that wasn't heavily discussed at all, and if at all, was the virus and the vaccine. What was discussed is what's going on politically, financially, in the world. What is going on in terms of separation and divide, and how the power has shifted so strongly into the hands of the very few. And, you know, this is something that we were aware of before COVID, but during COVID, it intensified, it amplified to a degree that most of us didn't even catch because we were worried about COVID, which makes a lot of sense. Well, it's time now to look again at what's really happening on the planet and how close we are You know, Deepak Chopra said we are 1 minute away from midnight. And the midnight that he and Marianne and Neil Donald Walsh and Michael Beckwith, all of them, speak of is humanity ending humanity. When the imbalances on earth become so great, when there are so many starving. When's the last time that you looked at the statistics of how many children die of starvation today? It's over 10,000. Today, just today, and another tomorrow. While we here in America stockpile food, while we pay for programs to make us feel okay in the moment. One of my most powerful takeaways from this is that this is no longer the era of self-care. Self-care is a $10 billion industry. And I know because I've been in it for decades. And it's been my honor to give to you the very best that I can for your self-care. However, the era of self-care is past. We are in the era of communal care. We must care for those in other countries. We must care for those we do not know. We must care for those we will never meet. We must care for the animals. We must care for the earth. This goes so far beyond political issues, conspiracy theories, so on and so forth. It's time to step out of am I okay and will I be okay and will my immediate family be okay? Because if we stay in that small perspective, self-care realm, we may, as a species, not make it. Am I being dramatic? You know, you're with me here because I'm empathic. The reason that I deliver those beautiful sound healings to you and that higher wisdom to the best of my ability is because I'm empathic, is because I listen to the whispers of the world and of humanity, as well as listening to my peers when they speak. Empathically, I haven't dared speak to you what I hear and what I feel, because my job is to create a container for your self-care. And there will be more of that, I promise. But right now, I would like to invite you to join me in backing up and looking at the big picture of what's occurred on Earth in the last 2 years. How far we've gone, how close we are to dictatorships, how close we are to the collapse of democracy, how important it is to pay attention to politics right now, to the things that those of us who are spiritualists always said, that's not my world, I'm going to skip in the flowers. And I do. Every single day, I skip in the flowers. It's my morning practice. I don't speak a word to the world until I feel the earth under my feet and the sun on my back, and I connect to Source and the true joy of that. And that's what I share with you in the sound healings and the teachings and all of that, is how to access that joy. But I am here to tell you right now, with all of my heart and all of my knowing, and with all of my peers standing at my back, that the greatest self-care you can ever offer yourself is the moment that you come out of, am I okay? What can I do to relieve my burden in this moment so that I can just feel okay for one moment again? The true power lies in holding the space of self-care for all. Self as in humanity, self as in we, as in the collective, self as in our animal friends, self as in our earth, self as in our future. Hold the space for all. When we have a mission, when we have a purpose, when we give, when we go to the grocery store and smile and help and compliment and give love and support, we create the frequency of love on the planet. If you're a healer, when we step out of trying to heal the emotional wounds and the what is so and the what happened of every single one of our clients, and we back up and we hold space for the whole of humanity, this is when we receive the gratitude of humanity. And I know that there's no paycheck attached to it. Trust me, I know. But it is the most important thing that we do right now. If you are an individual who is here with me because my words have healed you, my music has healed you in the past, I promise you there will be more of that. And I love you. And I will continue to flow that healing love and energy and pray for you and hold space for you every single day. But I invite you now to join me on a bigger plane that may pour back to you more healing, more gratification, more presence here in this life, more sense of purpose than any healer ever could. And that is doing everything that you can for those who live in a food desert, even here in America, and don't have access to clean water and fresh food. Those who don't have enough food on their plate globally. Those who don't have enough money to keep shelter over their family's head and food on the plates, as the majority of our wealth goes to 25 people on the planet. Flow your love to those who need it the most and watch what comes back to you. I want to end this with a caution. There are, as the word on the street is, save your money, make as much money as you can right now because we don't know what's going to happen next. There are movements out there right now happening called high-ticket movements. And in these movements, people who are selling services many of them self-care services, most of them self-care services, for outrageous amounts of money. 10 times, 100 times what they would previously charge. And they do it because they can. And they do it because people will pay the money. Just be careful. Just be mindful. If you are about to spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on something that is promising to change your life, just do your research and make sure that this person has a history and is qualified to truly deliver that to you. And if what they are offering to you is the tools by which you too may be a high ticket earner, then ask the question, is this the era? Is this the era to flow my time and attention into seeing how much money I can extract from people? Or is this the era to be one who helps and gives? The greatest healers on the planet are nonprofits. The authentic ones, or living humbly. The greatest healers who have earned a lot of money have done so because they worked hard and they stayed with it and they put out material that truly, truly changed the world. For $20 a book and $50 a program, maybe $200 for a full day, maybe a couple thousand for a retreat. So if you're about to drop that 10 grand, just make sure of the source and flow your money to where it's needed. So, more to come. I, like so many healers out there, am in the throes of healer fatigue, compassion fatigue, camera fatigue. But my peers today caused me to recommit to broadcasts, to being with you, to bringing the most important information to you, and to speaking fearlessly. And so if you stay with me, what you can expect in the future is more details of what I speak to help you understand it more clearly, and support to help you rise up to be someone who is gaining the greatest benefits of giving back to the world and humanity. I love you so. Have a beautiful night. Mwah.